The Legend of Zelda. Oracle of Season. Oracle of Ages. Oracle originally was a religious authority in ancient Greece, who was prophesied in the name of God. In contrast, the meaning of the oracle here is the authority to maintain seasons and time order. The game's issue is disorder of the time and season, after the oracle was kidnapped by someone evil. Link sent from Hyrule Land, by the Triforce, to extract the oracle and save the land. In Oracle of Seasons, Link should react by action. In Oracle of Ages, Link should react by solving puzzles. Oracle of Seasons. Link is transported by the Triforce, to the country of Holodrum, meets members of a band, with a dancer, named Dean. Link reveals to be the Oracle of the Ages. Suddenly, the sky darkens, as General Onox makes Oracle Dean vanish, causing a tornado that hits Link. General Onox takes the Oracle Dean to his fortress, and seals him in a crystal cage. In doing so, he brought obstacle to the order of seasons, to destruction of crops, and caused despair and suffering. Link takes care by the band's old lady, Impy, who tells him he must consult the Mako tree, how he can confront against Onox, and rescue Dean. Link comes to the Mako tree, but the Mako tree tells him that Onox has taken the 8 extracts of nature, contain the various aspects of nature and growth, which has weakened him. The Mako tree asks Link to restore the 8 extracts, which he can find them in the land, so his power and his memory would return to him. Link finds the portal to the subterranean world, known as Subrosia, where he discovers the ruined Seasons Temple. In the temple he meets with the Spirit of Winter, who gives him the Rod of Seasons, which allows the seasons to change. Then Link reaches the other 3 towers of the ruined temple, and adds the power of the other 3 seasons to the rod. After many hardships, Link manages to restore all 8 of the essences of nature, and bring them to the Mako tree. The Mako tree produces a Mako huge seed, thus allowing Link to enter the Onox castle, and confront him. General Onox tries to stop Link, by becoming a huge dragon, but in spite of this, General Onox is defeated by Link ultimately. Link releases Oracle Dean, who returns the order of the seasons back to normal. Oracle of Ages. The Shadow Wizard, Vern, kidnaps the Oracle of the Ages, Nehru, and holding him in the Queen Emby's castle, in Labrynna country, after taking her over. Vern takes over on the Oracle, and transfers the Oracle spirit, to him. Vern alters the history, by going 400 years to the past. By doing so, he disrupted the right course of time, and brought to the world an endless night. Some people and animals cease to exist, some freeze in time. The Triforce calls out to Link to release Oracle Nehru, and save the Hyrule Land. Link comes to Labrynna country, and looking first the Mika tree, guardian of Labrynna, to get advice from him, but he realized that Vern made the Mika tree to be vanished, and leaving him at risk. To save the Mika tree, Link has to travel to the past, and he do that, by playing melodies in the harp, left by the Oracle. Link travels to the past, and by that save the Mika tree. Although Link saved the Mako tree, the change of history weakened his memory, and ability to help Link. To restore his memory, the Mako tree asks Link to recover the 8 extracts, when he can find them in hiding places of the land, and bring them to him. The disruption of time caused Link to collect the 8 extracts, as he maneuvers between the time ranges, a matter he can do, by playing melodies with the harp. Link is also required, to enter various dungeons, and solve puzzles. After Link collects 6 extracts, he invade Queen Emby's castle, reach the Nehru Oracle, and removes Vern's spirit from him. After collects the remaining 2 extracts, Link brings them to the Mika tree, which strengthens him, and recovers his memory. The Mika tree produces a unique huge seed, which allows Link invade to the Black Tower, where Vern barricaded, to defeat him, and to release Queen Emby. Then, Naira the Oracle tells Link that times are back to normal. Philosophical aspect. We may assume that these plots express a concern we have, in some way, on a disturbance that may happen to the proper course of nature. We are used to 4 seasons a year, as it should be. But in fact, it is not so clear how the world works so neatly. As we can be impressed, the Oracle of Season plot comes to express our concern we sometimes have for this disturbance. We are also used to see the sun shining every day, and somewhere we are wondered how the world is in this situation, that there is a sun shining on the earth, and allow us to exist. Inevitably, we have a fear from an apocalyptic catastrophe, that the sun will cease to act, and darkness will fall on the world, as manifested with the evil villain, who, by kidnapping the Time Oracle, has caused darkness to earth. What could be of interest at the game plot, is, that this disruption, in the seasons and in the times, is not done as a disaster that happens in nature, but as a disaster someone bad has caused, and that the solution is by the hero, who fights against this someone. We can say, that in a natural disaster we feel helpless, when we also ask, why such a disaster happens, what the explanation for it, and how it happens, without being able to respond to it. We sometimes feel ourselves as invited guests to the world, and this situation, in which we feel ourselves as a volatile leaf, that can easily be harmed, without any injustice had done, is unclear to us. In my opinion, this game is about expressing how such disasters should be in the world, that we have the ability to monitor them, and do things to thwart them. As we feel the world as such, when we playing the game, it gives us an expression of the state of affair, that the world was supposed to take place in such natural disasters. According to this, we can say, that the purpose of the game plot is, to correct this feeling, by presenting the disaster's occurrence, in such a way, that we can understand, why and by whom it was caused, and that we can overcome it. Such a display of natural disasters, made by someone bad, and we have a solution to that, by a hero, who fights against it, is like balancing the fears we have of natural disasters,